If you think that hi-fi audio is a hobby for the wealthy and that being an audiophile is out of reach if you have a limited budget, a compact space, and realistic goals, you must watch this video. The Taga Harmony TAV-500B v.2 active speakers can shift perceptions about the quality and performance available at this price point. Please leave a like and let's get to it. Those bookshelf speakers are quite small. They still need to fit a 6.5-inch driver. Does the weight make for a low quality feeling though? For some, most likely yes, but they are priced at around €250 for a pair. The finishes aren't going to blow your mind. As in most high-end speakers, just the finish costs more than €250. However, when we look at similarly priced speakers, their finishes are rarely veneers, as is the case with this one. There are 4 colors to pick from: modern wench, oak, walnut, and black, which is the one I have on hand. The colorway I've got is perhaps the most universal, but all of the more natural finishes look fancier and more interesting. Regardless, the enclosure itself isn't a perfect squared off box, and that's for a reason. The top of the speaker is angled at around 4 degrees, from the front to the rear, helping to limit unwanted resonances and turbulences. It's a very smart idea to do something like this. I think it's a trickle-down technology from their Diamond series of speakers, which have curved edges and no parallel surfaces whatsoever. The enclosure uses a wide, rectangular port to enhance bass output. Color-matched grey drivers and rings around them create a clean, understated aesthetics. There are 4 holes though for the included fabric grills. You might not be a fan of the grills being non-magnetic, however I don't see that as a real problem. The grills themselves sit securely mounted to the speaker, yet they are very easy to remove without damaging anything. Their fabric is rather thin, so it should be acoustically transparent for the most part. A new premium damping material is used to effectively disrupt standing waves, reduce resonances, and minimize distortions, enhancing the clarity and the quality of sound across all ranges. They didn't put just regular plain old foam inside. The tweeter is an upgraded 1-inch silk dome driver equipped with an oversized magnet. It uses ferrofluid cooling and a heavy-duty copper voice coil for accurate, clear, smooth, detailed, and airy highs, even at high power. Housed in a re-engineered 2nd generation waveguide with concave diffusers, it enhances sound dispersion for a more natural and immersive soundstage by improving sound flow and reducing distortions. The mid-bass driver is made from ultra-light polypropylene. It has a rubber surround, a large magnet, and heavy-duty voice coil that handles high-power musical and precise bass. The internal Class D amplifier is highly efficient and paired with a 24-volt 4-amp power supply. This combo ensures plenty of headroom and minimal distortion for pristine audio reproduction. As if that wasn't enough, it'll even charge your phone from the USB output. I'm not sure why you would need it to do so, but it's there if you do. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas. Practically all of the I/O is located on the back of the active master speaker. You will find a standard C7 power connection in a shape of a figure of 8, a pair of RCA inputs for connecting analog sources like a DAC or preamp, and for digital we've got Toslink for CD or DVD players, game consoles, TVs and such. Additionally, there is a USB port, something you're not very likely to see on most powered speakers. So you don't even need a streamer or a computer for this thing. You can just plug in a USB drive and boom, you've got music. Plus, Bluetooth is built in for wireless streaming from a phone or tablet. The active speaker has a speaker output terminals which are used to connect the second passive speaker and supply it with an audio signal, so both of them can play music in a stereo configuration. And if you want even more bass extension, there is a single-ended mono subwoofer output. You will also find a volume control potentiometer and playback buttons back here. They all interact with the display on the front to indicate the current input, volume and status. The crossover point is at 3.5 kHz, so not the lowest, but it's a two-way design with just two drivers, so we can't expect it to break the laws of physics. The amplifier is rated at 2 times 40 watts RMS into 8 ohms with a 100 watt peak output, and it uses a Class D design. The frequency response goes from 30 Hz on the bottom to 20 kHz on the top. It's an impressive result for any stand-mount speaker. They have to be doing some DSP trickery internally to achieve it. When I got those speakers, I expected their bass extension to end at 45 Hz at most, so I was like, well, I'll prepare my subwoofer already. But I ended up not even using it with these speakers once I heard them. Then I looked at the specs and it explained everything, except how they achieved that. The speaker's impedance is 6 ohms and its sensitivity is 87 decibels. How do those Taga Harmony speakers sound? We need to explore tonality, the balance of bass, mids and treble that defines any audio device's sound signature. The TAV-500Bs have a unique character worth discussing. Starting with the low end, they are designed to deliver a noticeable and impactful bass response. They use a 6.5-inch mid-woofer, which combined with a built-in amplifier allows them to produce a surprisingly deep and well-defined bass for their size. I'm not even kidding, I'm used to much larger multi-driver speakers. It's not just about the amount, it's about control and definition. You can expect a solid foundation for your music with enough punch to make things exciting, especially in genres like electronic music, hip-hop and rock. However, it's important to note that they are still bookshelf speakers, so while the bass is impressive, it won't necessarily shake the room like a dedicated subwoofer with a 12-inch woofer, for example. The bass is designed to be tight and responsive, avoiding muddiness or boominess that can mask other frequencies, but it still comes off as very fun and tactile. The mid-range is where the most musical information resides, including vocals and most instruments. The TAV-500B v.2s aim for a natural and clear mid-range presentation. Vocals sound present and clean, with exceedingly good intelligibility considering the tonal balance. While not sounding perfect, instruments like guitars and pianos have a realistic enough timbre and body. The mid-range is neither overly recessed or forward, maintaining a good balance with the bass and treble. This balance is important for reproducing a wide range of musical styles. You can expect a decent, but not mind-blowing level of detail in the mid-range. It allows you to appreciate the nuances in your favorite tracks without the feeling of something missing. The treble is not overdone. It's not aggressively bright or forward, which is good for avoiding listening fatigue. It can plague some speakers that are even 20 times the price. Instead, the high frequencies are rather clean and present, providing sufficient detail. For the most part, it allows you to notice the low-level information in music without becoming harsh or sibilant. The resolution is what I would describe as a medium. You will hear the shimmer of cymbals and the airiness in vocals, but don't expect the micro-detail retrieval of higher-end speakers. It's a good balance though. Enough detail to make your music engaging, but not so much that it becomes fatiguing or analytical. Taga Harmony knew how much this speaker could resolve, and fortunately they didn't try to make it seem like it could do more by boosting the treble. This characteristic contributed to an overall easy listening nature of these speakers. It doesn't draw attention to itself, but rather provides a smooth and complementary top end. The TAV-500B v.2s offer a respectable soundstage for their size. While they won't project a massive, room-filling soundscape, Like larger floor-standing options, they create a decent sense of width with some depth. Imaging is also rather good. You can generally discern the placement of vocals and instruments, however don't expect pinpoint accuracy and laser-sharp instrument separation. These are bookshelf speakers, not high-end monitors. Dynamics, the ability to handle sudden changes in volume, are handled surprisingly well, with punchiness. These speakers are a great option for those seeking a versatile and enjoyable listening experience without breaking the bank. They are not analytical or clinical and don't have any major flaws. They are designed to make your music sound good, and they succeed at that.